って何でも知ってるふりしてこうくん。
じゃあ大丈夫だ。俺も楽しかった。なずなちゃんが無事でよかったじゃないかと心配してたから。
Join us as we continue to follow Ko on his romantic quest to become a vampire by falling in love with the steamy vampire Nazuna. Ko's out and the streets are packed. He's low-key stressing about bumping into someone he knows when someone shouts his name. He debates making a run for it, but instead, he turns around and sees Kiyosumi. Turns out, Kiyosumi got off work early and wants to thank Ko for helping him out the other day by treating him to a refreshing soft drink. Sweet. It's pouring rain, and Ko scrambles for cover. He notices a group of people huddled under a smoking area and spots a guy shamelessly hitting on a girl. But to Ko's delight, the girl turns him down flat. Suddenly, she catches Ko's eyes and gives him a friendly wave. As he cracks open his drink, the girl appears out of nowhere and strikes up a conversation. She's curious what he thought of the failed pickup, and Ko guesses that the guy's behavior must be annoying to women, but the girl surprises him by insisting that she actually enjoys getting hit on, using it as a way to pass the time when she's bored. Still, she assures Ko that she's selective about who she engages with, and that particular guy just wasn't her type. Ko was just chillin' with his drink when some girl swoops in and snatches it right out of his hand. Naturally, Ko ain't having none of that, so he follows her to get his drink back. But when he catches up to her, she's already chugged the whole damn thing. Turns out she's feeling pretty down lately, and nothing seems to be getting her excited. Ko can totally relate, so he tries to cheer her up and tells her everything's gonna be alright. She's so grateful, she gives him a big ol' hug and even says his full name. But just as things were looking up, in comes Nazuna with a slice and dice. She straight up cuts the girl's arm and declares Ko as her prey. The girl starts talking trash about Nazuna, saying she's spending too much time with humans and whatnot. Then she goes ahead and reattaches her own arm like it ain't no big deal and says she's gonna make a proper offspring out of Ko, or else she's gonna kill him. That's when things get really intense, cause she comes at Ko full speed ahead and Nazuna ain't having none of that. While Nazuna and the first girl are going at it, Ko starts to back off. But then some other girl shows up and stops him in his tracks. She tells Nazuna they're gonna borrow Ko and then straight up flies off with them. Nazuna manages to kick the first girl and asks where the other one took Ko. Phew, talk about a wild ride. Ko gets taken to a spot by another girl. There he finds 3 other ladies waiting for him. They start talking about how young he looks, which makes Ko realize they're all vampires. Then they drop a bomb on him. He's gotta pick one of them. Why, you ask? So that she can turn him into a vampire and spare him from becoming a liability. See, Ko knows too much about their kind, and that's no bueno for them. Tough choices, huh? Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. Who is the best girl in all of anime? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out in a future video. Now, back to the recap. She introduces herself as Nico Hirata, the others as Midori Kohakobe, Hatsuka Suzushiro, and Kabura Honda, the one who brought him there. The one he met earlier is Seri Kikyo, and he can choose her too. Ko states he wants Nazuna, which surprises them. Ko's taste in women becomes the hot topic of gossip, and Nazuna shows up looking to take him away. The other girls are curious about how she plans to win him over, but Ko drops a bombshell. Nazuna found his blood delicious, so he's decided to become a vampire. They make a deal, she'll suck his blood and turn him into a vampire. Some of the other girls grumble, but Ko's determined to make this happen, no matter how long it takes. Ko's mind races as he tries to make sense of the situation. He turns to Nico, who delivers the crushing news. There's a time limit. Apparently, once you've been bitten, you have just 1 year to transform into a vampire, or you're out of luck. Shocked, Ko turns to Nazuna for answers, only to be met with a casual shrug and an admission that she completely forgot. As Akira trudges to school one morning, she's thrown off by Mahiro's unexpected presence. Turns out Mahiro had a wild night and conked out on the stairs. Akira, being the responsible student she is, questions Mahiro's late-night shenanigans. Mahiro reveals that he's got a thing for someone who's only available at night. Akira fears the worst. Could this mystery person be a vampire? But Mahiro looks confused and asks her what she means. Ko and Seri meet at night, but Ko tries to pull a sneaky move and run away. Seri catches him and teases him about his delicious blood. As they chat, Ko admits he's clueless about love. This gets Seri pumped up because she considers herself a love master. She shares her secret for getting closer to someone with Ko. A few nights later, Ko's on the hunt for Nazuna when he spots Mahiro getting cozy with some other people. His heart skips a beat, but he manages to chill out when Mahiro doesn't notice him. Turns out, Mahiru's still the same old Mahiru, but when she finally does see Ko, she stops to chat. After a little chit-chat, they go their separate ways. Get ready for some karaoke chaos in the next episode. Seri convinces Ko to come along, but things take a crazy turn when one of her past lovers shows up and tries to crash the party. The guy is clearly unstable, and when he bursts into the room, Ko knows that reasoning with him is not an option. Seri suggests taking him out, but Ko has other ideas. He charges the guy and manages to remove him from the room despite Seri's threats. With the lover on the run and the danger averted, Ko and Seri make a quick escape. But watch out, because Seri's not afraid to kill anyone who gets in her way. They escape and the guy asks Ko about his relationship with Seri, but Ko plays it coy and turns the question back on him. The guy confesses that he's smitten with Seri, but struggling to express his feelings. Ko encourages him to spill the beans, and the guy tells the story of how they met. He lost his glasses, Seri found them, and they fell in love over a drink. Suddenly, Seri appears and announces that it's time to kill the guy because, surprise, she's a vampire. Ko refuses to let her harm him, but before things get too heated, Nazuna intervenes and puts a stop to the madness. Turns out, she'd been eavesdropping on the whole conversation thanks to Ko's watch. As Seri and Akihito chat, they finally agree on something. Seri only wants to be buddies with Akihito, but he's still smitten. So, in the end, Seri turns Akihito into a vampire like her, and they all hit up karaoke to celebrate their new vampiric buddy. Midori's doing her thing at the maid cafe when she gets a message from her coworker bailing on their shift tonight. Bummer, right? But then she spots Nazuna and Ko walking in and her eyes light up. Why? Because Nazuna's not exactly a hit with the fellas, which means she won't cause chaos and mayhem like some other customers tend to. Score. Nazuna agrees to do a shift at the maid cafe and dresses as maid. Midori finishes work and excitedly plans to snap a photo of Nazuna for their social media. But wait, what's this? Some sneaky creep has posed pictures of Nazuna in her maid uniform, revealing her underwear from certain angles. Ko takes a closer look, and Midori and Nazuna immediately call him out as a total pervert. Yikes. The next day, at the maid cafe, Ko is looking at the pictures again and sees a picture where she is even changing clothes. Arisa comes in at that moment and sees him and tells him it's embarrassing when he stares like that. In order to catch the peeping Tom taking these pictures, Ko and Midori end up hiding in a closet together. In such a close proximity, Ko gets flustered as Midori's breasts push up against him. Let's just say they're not exactly giving him a lot of breathing room. Anyway, while they're in there, Ko fills Midori in on the situation. The pervert only strikes when Arisa's alone, and all the pictures were taken after closing time. So, they figure if they wait long enough, the perp will eventually show up, and hopefully they can catch him in the act. Ko busts open the locker and catches Arisa red-handed taking selfies. Oops, he apologizes for the intrusion, but demands an explanation. Arisa comes clean. She was feeling envious and fabricated the whole Peeping Tom story just to score some attention. After a heartfelt apology, Ko forgives her and they put the drama behind them. Nazuna ended up liking the pay at the maid cafe and decides to work there from time to time. Nazuna sends Ko to scout for new cuddle buddy clients, so Ko scours the area for folks who look like they could use a serious snuggle session. Spotting a woman smoking on a bridge, Ko takes note of her drained expression and approaches her. He asks if she wants to chat, and she agrees, clearly in need of some relaxation. They go to a coffee shop, and Ko explains that he wasn't trying to hit on her, but that disappoints her a bit as she got excited for a moment. A young boy is interested in her as she was feeling quite lonely recently. Ko wonders what she works as, and she gives him a business card, where he sees her name is Anko Uguisu and is a private detective, which excites him. Anko asks him if he is usually outside at this time, and Ko confirms. She then asks if he knows Akihito Akiyama. However, Ko can't recognize the name. Anko then shows him a picture and states his friends call him Akun. A few nights later, Akira, Mahiru, and Ko sneak into school, hunting ghosts for some spooky fun. As they explore an abandoned classroom, they're met with a chilling surprise, a teacher transforming into a ferocious creature before their very eyes. The crazed teacher blames them for his loss of control and lunges at Akira. With a creepy preference for women, Mahiru bravely tries to intervene, while Ko stands frozen in confusion, until he snaps out of it and takes matters into his own hands, using a chair to push the attacker away. Something clicks inside Ko, and he realizes what they're really dealing with: a blood-sucking vampire. Anko then shows up and kills the vampire by using a personal item connected to him. Anko reintroduces herself and states she works on cases that sometimes involves missing people who went missing due to vampires. Ko wonders why she killed him, as she stated he was either way going to die today. Anko asks him if he should have lived a life as a monster. He struggled for 10 years not knowing what he became. She tells Ko that he knows nothing about the vampire and won't let him achieve his idiotic dream. Ko thinks of what Anko said and agrees that he doesn't know anything about vampires. He goes to see Nazuna, who is eager for some blood, and Ko agrees. However, as she hugs him to suck his blood, he is reminded of the teacher vampire that lost control and pushes her away. She wonders what happened, and Ko tells her about the vampire who lost control. Nazuna guesses he was starving and could not control himself anymore. Later, Ko meets with Anko again, and she gives him a choice: live as a human or become a vampire and get killed by her. This obviously shocks Ko, and he runs home. On the way back, Ko meets the vampire Hatsuka, and he takes Ko to his place. Hatsuka is obviously very sexually confusing, as he's actually a guy. The other vampires show up and give Ko an ultimatum. The only way to not be killed by the other vampires is to get Ko to fall in love with Nazuna and become a vampire himself. Ko states that he will fall in love with her and won't let her get bored. Nazuna promises to herself that she will become a vampire worth falling for, and then kisses Ko. What a way to end the series. Will our boy find true love and become a vampire for real? Find out when the second season comes out. Adios.